Well, let's get to those bowl game invitations. We knew the 8th-ranked Utes were going to the Rose Bowl, but who would they play?
Well, traditionally, it's a matchup between Pac-12 and Big Ten, but which Big Ten team? Michigan and Ohio State, both picked by the committee to participate in the college football playoff. So the Big Ten will be represented in the Rose Bowl by the 11th-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State comes into the game with a 10-2 record. Penn State's only 2 losses this season came against those 2 playoff teams, a 41-17 loss to Michigan and a 44-31 loss to Ohio State. This will be the first time in history that Utah's facing Penn State in football. It's Penn State's 5th trip to the Rose Bowl. Both coaches told us today that they look forward to this first ever matchup on the most historical stage in college football.
I didn't realize that it was the first time that the 2 teams will have ever played each other. I'm just excited. It's a storied program, a lot of tradition, a lot of history, ton of success through the years. And we're relatively new on the scene, compared to what they've got going and what they've had historically. And so we're excited to play and excited for the challenge.
Obviously, you look at the University of Utah and the success that they've had under Kyle's leadership. To me, it was exciting. And then after just, watching them play here recently, tough, hard-nosed, disciplined, gritty team, that finds ways to win all different ways. And, got a ton of respect for what they do and how they do it.
Let's bring Sly in now to get your early thoughts on this opportunity that the Utes have. Back-to-back Rose Bowls. That's thrilling in and of itself. But now the Utes get to play Penn State, a team they've never played before.
Yeah, I spent some time training in Eastern Pennsylvania while I would play for the Steelers, and I know a little bit about Penn State. They are a storied franchise, or institution that their fan base is huge. Happy Valley out there in Pennsylvania is crazy. So for me, my memory is that this is a tough, hard-nosed, run the football type of place, and it's just like Utah. So I'm thinking another epic Rose Bowl matchup coming in January.
But this also looks like an opponent that the Utes should beat. In my opinion, I think they should be the favorite team.
I don't know, man. I got to study the tape. I know they got a really established senior quarterback who has had some tremendous years and 2 great freshman running backs. A 1-2 combo punch on there. So that's a steady offense, and they got a traditional defense, right? They play great defense over there at Penn State. So we'll see if it's a guaranteed win. But the way the Utes are rolling right now, I don't think anybody in the country wants to see us.
Well, that's certainly the case. For the next 2 weeks, you'll be breaking down this matchup between Utah and Penn State. Can't wait for that. All right, let's move on to BYU. The final season of independence will conclude in the land of enchantment. The Cougars have been selected to play in the New Mexico Bowl on December 17th. Their opponent, the SMU Mustangs. SMU comes into the game with a 7-5 overall record. One of those losses, an 8-point loss to TCU, who's in the college football playoff. This is BYU's 2nd appearance in the New Mexico Bowl. They last played in the game in 2010, a 52-24 win over Utah.
How about the Aggies? Utah State's going bowling. They've accepted an invitation to play at the First Responders Bowl in Dallas. They will take on the 6-6 Memphis Tigers from the American Conference. These 2 teams have played each other 7 times in history, but this is actually their first meeting since 1977. This will be the Aggies' 15th all-time bowl appearance.
Well, excited to get the news, to be going to Dallas and spending Christmas there. We'll be in Dallas on Christmas Day, getting ready for a game on the 27th. Love the matchup against Memphis. Really good football team, familiar with those guys. A lot of positives about this particular game for us. Mainly just the opportunity itself to be bowl eligible 2 years in a row, to add to just a wonderful bowl history here at Utah State in general over the last 10, 15 years, and to possibly get win number 7.